Everyone, I'm Sarah with Fisher Price Ranch. First off, please subscribe and hit that notification bell for updates on our next videos. So we are officially 3 weeks from kidding season. Our goats are getting very fat. We have quite a few that are getting large bags or udders, and so I thought I would show you guys kind of a little bit of what we're watching on our does. We're starting to prepare the barns for kidding season. And also, possible good news, it looks like our livestock guardian dog might be pregnant. So we went ahead and set up her area for when she has puppies, just in case. And so we'll show you guys that. So pretty much this video, we're just going to be preparing for babies / winter, I guess. And so let's get started. Alright, so first we're going to go over our birthing kit for the goats, and I usually have it set up and ready to go, and I just put it away in my cabinet here. So I'll show you guys what's in my box, and this is pretty much just so we're prepared for babies, anything we may need in case of an emergency or whatever's going on. Alright, so here's my birthing box. I make sure that it's easy to carry and it has everything I need. So I always keep a leash with a harness in here in case for any reason I need to tie up the mother to keep her still if we have an issue with birthing. Also, because these are performance tested goats, we want to weigh our goats every 30 days, so we start with the day that they're born. So I keep just a small fish scale for when they're first born, because it is fairly accurate up to, you know, a small poundage. I don't really trust it when we get further down here, but I have a better digital scale that we use for the 30 days and on. And then I have my little goat tote that I put my goats in to weigh them. So I'll put the babies inside this bag and then I'll hang it from the scale. We also have plenty of towels. I typically, because it's winter time, I want to make sure that they're dry because we can get frozen babies. So we just make sure that we towel dry them, get their nose clear so they can breathe. Also, if we're birthing and it's really freezing cold, like last year we had -5 temps, so I keep a hair dryer in here so I can make sure. The main thing is their ears. Their ears need to be dry because it can cause frostbite, which we did have 2 babies that got it last year, but luckily not bad enough that the ears fell off, but just enough that the hair turned white. So we do keep that on hand. We also ear tag our babies, so I keep the ear tagger in here so we can just get it done. It's easier to do it when they're little, less painful, and they forget about it within an hour. Or less, probably. And then, of course, we have a Ziploc full of gloves if we need them. So those are the main things that we keep on hand. I don't dip their umbilical cords in iodine. I used to when I had Nubians, but the Kikos are just so hardy, and we keep their pen fairly clean, so knock on wood, we haven't had an issue with anything getting infected. And then also, I'll pull it out of my other box, but when we're at that point of actual kidding season gets here, I'm going to add a pair of scissors in here. That way if the umbilical cord is super long, we can cut it short. So that's what we keep on hand for kidding season. Pretty much, I guess, the same for when we're expecting puppies. So we'll have the scissors, we'll have towels, clean them. But Mom usually does everything she needs to. Both goats and the dog, they know what they're doing. They clean up their babies, and that's also how they bond, so you don't want to do it all for them. So most of this stuff I don't use. I'll use the towel just to clean the nose, and then if it's really cold, like I said, we'll blow dry the ears, and then we weigh them and ear tag them, but mostly we don't have to use anything else. Alright, so first we'll start off with our livestock guardian dog, Zara. So I had mentioned this before in our last video about us putting a jump gate in here. The reason we did that was because we went out of town for a vacation. I don't like to mention when I'm leaving the farm, so that's why I didn't mention it before. but we had to have it set up to where she can go in and out, but the goats could not get to her food. And it actually works out nice, so we're going to keep it this way. We have designed where we just have a big bucket of dog food, so we don't have to feed her every single day. It makes it nice, just like with our goat, where we only have to fill their feeders once a week. Now we can do that with the dogs. So this is her setup that we did. We did shavings. We've got her little den underneath here for when she has her babies, which you could tell she's been laying in it already. We just did this yesterday. I did not video it, only because it was really simple. All we did was, this is actually my goat stall for inside my Jeep. We just flipped it upside down because I'm not going to be hauling anything for quite a while. So all we do is flip it upside down. We just put this board across, which will keep the puppies inside there. And then we just threw down some shavings and just made sure that this was nice and airtight in here so there's not a lot of breeze. And then what I think I might do is, they make livestock heating pads for dogs and cats that live outdoors. And so I think we may do that if it gets really cold for the puppies. We can just put a heat pad down here and plug it in, and that'll keep them from freezing. Alright, so this is one of our goat barns. So I actually don't set these up until about a week prior to kidding, only because then they soil it and it gets all nasty before kids are actually born. So what we're going to do is, about a week before, we're going to come in here, rake all this old sawdust and manure, whatever they've put in here, little bits of hay, and we'll rake all this out and put fresh bedding down. And we have made sure that this is pretty much leak proof, so we make sure that they have at least 3.5 sides of cover out of the wind, so that way there's no breeze in there. Hi, Zara. So real quick, I'll show you Zara. So the reason we think that she is bred, if you lay down, good girl, is normally when they're not pregnant, their nipples tend to just lay against their belly, and if you look, they're actually sticking up. And they're supposed to, now like I said, this is really my first time having puppies, and they actually get darker in color because there's more blood flow to the nipple, so they'll turn like a pink or rosy color, and they do look darker, and all of her nipples are quite, decent size. They're actually sticking up where they're not laying against her body. So that makes me think that she is pregnant. She would be about 3 to 4 weeks along, so we should start seeing her getting a little fatter here in the next couple of weeks. They're pregnant for roughly 63 days. So we figure we're going to have puppies. I don't know when they tied, but we're going to have puppies between December 15th and the 24th. So hopefully it is true that she is pregnant. I've got high hopes for her. Thor is her son, and he's just absolutely amazing. So we really wanted to get another puppy out of her. And we'll probably keep a male, have him fixed, and then he'll be Thor's partner. And then we'll eventually get another female that's unrelated to Thor that will be Zara's partner. Huh. You're such a good girl. Yeah, you're a good girl. Alright, so real quick, so we have the one barn like I showed you guys. We also have this giant barn. We do the same thing. We clean it out, put fresh bedding down. And I think what we'll do is we'll probably... Hi, Tipsy. Hi, baby. She's our first one due. But we'll probably close this pasture down and we'll move them into the first pasture. That way they can get into the barn. I have a door on both sides, but they've been in here eating the grass down, and that next pasture over there has quite a bit of grass that they can eat. So probably a week before kidding, we'll move them over so they can start getting comfortable in the barn and get some fresh grass. So real quick, I'll go over the girls that are due. This is Tipsy. She's 100% New Zealand and bred to Rocky Road, so we'll have 100% New Zealand kids out of her. She's our first one due. She's not quite getting an udder just yet, but we've got 3 weeks left to go still. The other doe that's due the same day is our homegrown doe, Judah's Truffles. She's a purebred and bred to Buddy, so they'll be purebred babies. She is actually getting a little udder. If you guys could see that. So that's really exciting for her. Next, I don't remember the full order of them, but I know Capers will be after that. She has a really nice udder. As you guys can see, we actually milked her last year as a first freshener. She produced awesome milk. But she ended up going into labor 2 weeks early, and the babies didn't make it. They were too premature. We don't know why. We're assuming that she was rammed in the belly and it caused her to go into early labor. So we're hoping that she goes full term this time. We got 3 weeks to go on, well, about 3.5 weeks on her. Pinky is another one due. She's getting a really nice udder. She'll be one that we milk as well. She's in New Zealand and bred to our homegrown Bazooka. So we're excited to see his first kids. We've got Mama, which is Truffle's mother. She's due in a few weeks also. She's a purebred and bred to, that's a really good question. I want to say she's bred to Wrecker, which is our new buck. Calliope is not due till January 3rd. She is bred to Rocky Road, 100% New Zealand. We've got Sabrina over here, who's a purebred, bred to Wrecker, our new buck, and she's due in a few weeks. And then we've got a few more does up there. But I think we have 10 does due between December 5th and through January 3rd. So we're going to have a lot of babies running around here. A quick update on Peppermint's leg. It's kind of looking like she may have torn a tendon or a ligament or something, because when she walks, she drops down on her ankle a little bit. She's putting weight on it now, which shows me that her break is healed, and that sore that she had on her foot is also healed. So what I've done is I've actually ordered a brace. It's actually for a dog, but it's a brace for the hock, and it helps support it so they can't bend the ankle. So we're going to see if that'll help her while she continues to heal. So that should be in the mail anytime now, hopefully. But she loves me again. Oh, pretty girl. So this one is Trinidad, and she is bred to Buddy, and they're purebreds. She's due in a couple of weeks. Hi, pretty girl. She's getting quite big. And then we have Bonnie, and she is bred to Rocky Road, and she's due in a couple of weeks. And then we have our Alpine doe, who is bred to Wrecker, and she is due in a couple of weeks. These will be percentage kids and commercial also. You can only register percentage doelings. You cannot do that with bucks. So the boys will be commercial. And as for these three, Marsala was rebred, Coconut rebred after her treatment, and Divinity rebred by Bazooka. And also Hopscotch got bred, I believe. So we have her actually over with Rocky Road in case she returns to heat, which is, she's due to go into heat in 2 days, so we'll see what happens there, but she may be bred by Bazooka as well. Alright, you guys, well, so that's pretty much how our girls are progressing. Possible puppies on the way, and so you can see our shelters for our goats are not that extravagant. We just make sure they have a 3-sided or 3.5-sided shelter to keep out of the wind and the rain and whatever else comes, and we just put shavings down. We don't do any heat lamps or anything special. We don't put sweaters on our goats. We don't do any of that. The Kikos are very hardy, so we don't normally have to worry about that. So anyway, I hope this was helpful, and we'll see y'all next time.